everybody, before you watch the video, make sure you follow the page, like the video. Hope you enjoy.
And like even just to do with the fitness stuff, like I think you will find that the majority of people are generally healthier and fitter in most other countries. It's in Western countries where things are so easy. And you know how you said like everyone's unhappy all the time?
Yeah.
I talked with Eddie Foster, who's again, he's been on the podcast before the other day, and he was talking about like dopamine and like so dopamine's a driving force behind everything you do because it's like it's the chemical that makes you feel good, or it's how it's also what drives addiction and stuff like that. But like what used to happen is like you would feel like things are slow, or I'm hungry or whatever, and then like I'm hungry, I need to get food. So you would go out and find food, you'd go and catch an animal or whatever, and you'd have a huge dopamine spike.
Yes.
Because you've done something active and interactive and I'm chasing a gazelle or whatever, and you kill it and whatever. And then you have a low moment of dopamine where you drop back down, and then you become, because of the high of the dopamine, it's like drugs. It's the same thing as drugs. It's just a chemical reaction that is naturally occurring in your body instead of taking a substance.
Yep.
And then on that low, you go, oh shit, I feel low, I need to do something. So dopamine motivates you to go and take action on things, whether it's about food, about whatever. Now, the problem with what we do now is we don't actually have to do anything. Before, you had to do something to get that dopamine spike.
Yes.
You used to have to go out and talk to the girl. You used to have to go out and find the food. You used to have to go out and challenge yourself in a competition or whatever.
You don't have to go out and talk to the girls anymore?
We'll talk about that later.
Because I'm out of the game, guys.
Okay, all right. I'll explain what I'm talking about now. I'll explain what I'm talking about now about dopamine.
Just kidding.
But no. Like you're right. Most guys don't do that anymore. So the problem is because everything's so easy, or you can fulfill that need with something else. So if you're hungry or you feel bad, you just get a box of ice cream and you eat the whole thing. Or if you feel bad, you're like, oh, I feel low. You get that dopamine spike whenever you feel like it, but you didn't have to do anything for it.
Yeah.
So like we talk about the participation rewards and stuff, you keep rewarding people for not doing anything. And what that does is actually continually drive people's motivation and drive down. You don't help them, you damage them. You're making them less and less motivated because you keep rewarding them for doing nothing. All right, you can't reward yourself or other people for not achieving or doing things. All right, it actually damages people mentally really badly. So, and to do with dating, it's the same thing. Like before, to find any amount of sexuality or sexual access for guys, they used to have to go out and find that in the world and then be attractive enough to attract someone of the opposite sex. Now they don't do that. Guess what they do? They just sit down in front of their laptop, type in whatever they want, and there it is. And you might think that it's not the same thing, but your brain doesn't know any different. It's still sexualization. It's still the same stimulation as sex, because you're seeing sex. All right. So now they don't even have the motivation to go out and meet somebody or find somebody, because they can just access sex through any type of online thing or device or whatever. And it's no different than anything. Like most, you might know a lot of girls or whatever that are addicted to Instagram. They're addicted to attention, and all they put on there is bikini photos and blah blah blah, or just like, oh, I'm amazing, my lifestyles are crazy, oh yeah, party, and they get a bunch of attention, people liking and messaging them or whatever. But it's also like rewarding themselves for not doing anything. Like they think that all of that attention, which it's peacocking, it's the same as female animals or male animals and other things. They attract the opposite sex to find a mate. Well, now what happens is they attract all these people, but none of them want to have a date with them. They just want to have sexual access. So it's like you keep rewarding yourself, and people are rewarded for things that don't lead to anything positive, and they don't actually, there's no goal. There's no final goal to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you can just fulfill that need with other things. You fulfill that need with buying food because you feel bad. You fulfill that need with watching sexuality on the internet because you feel aroused. You fulfill that need of attention and affirmation from someone you find you know, that's like a man that maybe that they would potentially want to have a relationship with, that men don't want to have a relationship with anymore because they keep advertising in such a sexual way. So I think people are fulfilling a lot of needs just to feel that dopamine spike because they don't do anything anymore. Like people don't do difficult stuff anymore. That's why like these people that are training in Mongolia that train for 3 or 4 hours, man, they have a huge dopamine spike and then they come down, but they're working hard to have that dopamine spike. They're not sitting at home, you know, getting it from playing video games and then feeling unfulfilled in life because you're still having those peaks and troughs of what life's supposed to be like, ups and downs. You talk to any person that's successful in the world, they talk about how they had so many setbacks and they had to overcome this. That is a normal trajectory towards life. The problem is people don't want to go through that anymore. I just want to feel good all the time. I want to feel comfortable all the time.
I agree.
And it starts in most westernized countries because that's the ideology. Like there's this utopian version of the world where everything's going to be amazing all the time. And it's kind of, I think it's coming into a lot of other cultures a little bit as things get more westernized and stuff, but like this is something I think scary, man. Because and I think if the more people do martial arts, the more people do things that are difficult, the more people that go out and risk. Nobody wants to risk anymore.
Do you need motivation? Do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly, man. But it doesn't even have to be that. It could be relationships. It could be going and seeing the person that you're scared to go and see and have a date with them or whatever. But the point is like, people don't risk anymore because it's scary, it's fearful, it's whatever. No, you're supposed to risk. That's a part of life. Having a relationship is a risk. Doing a business and it failing, that's a risk. Getting injured doing sports is a risk. But these are all necessary things for you to go and have a fulfilling life, man. Risk and do things. I don't mean go crazy. I don't mean like go out, get shit-faced, do a bunch of drugs and punch people and go to prison. I'm not talking about that type of risk. I'm talking about like controlled risk. Everything's controlled risk to some extent. You can't control everything in life and it can't feel amazing all the time. And what I think happens now is people are so afraid of failure and looking bad and all these types of things that they don't commit to things anymore. Someone will do jiu-jitsu for a month and they don't get the blue belt that they wanted, so they quit. They go to a and there's people here that are good, that were coming up, like they're doing well, they get a blue belt, they get a purple belt, they do this, they go to a comp, they lose, they quit jiu-jitsu, man.
Oh wow.
Because I don't feel good anymore because this made me feel bad. Or they have a relationship and they argue 2 or 3 times and now like, oh no, this person's evil, go and find somebody else. And it's like you can't get to a point where you have fulfillment if you just change up everything all the time because it feels bad. Do you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to feel bad and you're supposed to feel good and it's supposed to oscillate. And when you feel bad, that is an indicator. Because again, I like to talk about things in very pragmatic ways. Like when you do jiu-jitsu, there's function for everything you do. Oh, when you're tight to somebody, when you're controlling somebody, like when you create lots of connection, what's the function? The function is to control and manipulate somebody else. And when you disconnect from somebody and you're loose from their body and there's not a lot of tension, what's the function for that? Oh, to reposition yourself to a better position. And that you can have a look at the same thing to do with feeling good and feeling bad. When you feel bad, that's an indicator to change your situation. Oh, I'm not happy about my physique. All right, you get healthier. And then you get healthier. And then you find something else you don't like. Oh, I'm not happy about my job. So then you adjust and improve your job. That is the function for feelings. Feelings have a function. What I think people do now is they're not conscious about the function of themselves or their feelings. And they just do random, crazy, like impulsive shit to try and feel better again.
So not happy about the body, but then eat the cheeseburger to feel better.
To feel better, correct, exactly. And that's what happens. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you haven't yet already, make sure you subscribe, like, and again, go and check us out on Facebook, on Instagram, like all our platforms. Give us a follow at bjj.101 on Instagram. And go and check out bjj101.com.au to access the full video library.